sits on my fingertips. It's all out of the sun.
Hello, welcome to Australian Surf Stories. We got Josie, Prendergast and Taj, Richmond from Byron Bay, beautiful Byron Bay, at my mate's backyard. And we're going to have a talk about growing up in Byron Bay, growing up in Shargow, and surfboards and their shapers at Bob and Ben McTavish, who are good friends of mine. We'll start with you, Josie. So, when did you move from Shargow over to here?
I moved from Shargow when I was 3.
Oh, wow. So you spent most of your life in Byron?
Yeah, all my schooling, everything, yeah. My dad's been here for like 40 years.
Yeah.
But met Mum in Shargow and then took us to Byron because that's where we had our house in Sappho and
wow. And now
schooling here.
You're back over there. You guys were just there for 6 months. And I met you, Taj, the year before last.
Yeah.
Out at that mutant left, like Chopu, where I broke my rib out there the last time. But and then we started talking, and you said you had one of my old boards.
Yeah.
Byron board. It's just down there. We'll have a look at it later. But and you guys spent 6 months there just now.
We did 4 months.
Oh, 4 months.
So we usually try to do either 6 months home here and then 6 months there, or 8 months here, 4 months there.
Yeah. And so have you got or getting dual citizen?
I am a dual citizen now. I only just got I've always had like my Australian passport. Or
Obviously.
Australian by descent.
Yeah.
So, and then it wasn't until after high school that I got my Filipino passport where I applied for it.
I've just been checking that out because to buy land and stuff like that. Because we're not allowed to buy land. And so when did you start going back there? And you grew up here surfing and learnt to surf here and stuff like that. And then Dad's probably gone, hey, you know what? Where you come from is pretty good surf.
Yeah.
So when did you start going back then?
Well, we've always gone back there every year or two, for a month or two.
Yep.
And then it was like every 2 years, and then after high school, that's when I was like, I want to spend more time at home with the family and Mum's cousins and aunties and all that.
Big family?
Yes, so big.
Yeah, I know.
So it was just after high school, and then only had my Australian passport. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I've got to get my Filipino passport.
And you guys met at, you both went to Byron High School?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Ruben, whose place this is. Johnny said to me that you and Ruben went to school together.
Yeah.
And so, how long have you been going back over there surfing now, seriously surfing?
In Philippines?
Yeah.
I reckon seriously surfing since I've been with Taj. Because I feel like all the years that I'd go back to visit for a month, I would just mainly be hanging out with the family. I'd surf, but I think since being with Taj, that's when we kind of...
Well, he's a surfer rat, isn't he?
So we
started to go wave hunting.
Yeah, because it's very fickle, the Philippines.
Yeah. So
I thought that it was just... Well, people call me a wave magnet, but it changed. I got my cup up. What do they call it? Comeuppance. Because I've had some the last few years, but 7 years before that, the swell came the day I left.
Wow.
And that was from long times. Because at first, I went there in 95, and then I think it was maybe 96 or 7 or something like that. We went to Majestics I know we're not going to name names, but I mean that's like that's a number one famous one.
Yeah, that was
And-
discovered before Cloud9.
Yeah. Because I'll get to Kevin Davidson, who owned the Cloud9 Resort,
Yeah.
and they were up there and went down and went down after because it's more consistent, I guess.
Yeah.
But we went there for a week and had it 6 to 8 foot perfect with that one other guy the whole time, and just gone. And then in, I think it was 2002, it was actually, I should remember it, it was the day after the Bali bombing.
Yeah.
And we because I had a place at Uluwatu and we were hanging there, and my daughter was 6 months old. Tiger, you just saw the pictures of.
Yeah.
And her family, my ex was from General Santos, Jensen. Yeah, General Santos. And so we went down there, and that was the deal. Okay, we'll go there for a week, but then I get a week at Cloud9 on the way home, and it was too big for Cloud9.
Yeah.
And we surfed the left that you got to get a boat to every day for the week, perfect, 6 to 8 foot. It's gone everywhere I go. That's what happened. And I got to surf Cloud9 in the morning, and got a black barrel out there, and I went, I'm over this.
What's a black barrel?
Well, when it's that deep, it's black in there.
Yeah, wow. That's
Yeah. I've had one at Greenmount too, but anyway, it's not about me. It's about you guys. And but yeah, I thought that's what happened. But it's the fickle peens.
Fickle
Yeah,
peens.
yeah, that's
Pretty
right.
fickle. We've had friends
Fickle
come
peens.
over to visit, and they've been there for like a month or 2 months and get skunked.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really nice to hang out, and you've got to just. It's not like Bali or something where
I think if you-
you'd expect surf every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got a good routine, and like we do over there, and we've got family and
Yeah,
everything. So.
and your longboards too. So do you mainly just surf the longboard?
I was mainly surfing longboard like every day 3 years ago, but I feel like now
I'd say you're like 50-50 now.
Yeah.
When there's
Oh, wow,
swell.
that's good. Well, I mean, because longboards are going to get a bit tricky because some of the waves over there are brutal.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, yeah, totally. I think I did more small board surfing there this year than I did
and what
longboard.
small board have you got?
I am currently loving a 611 Elvine by McTavish.
So they called it a mid
Yeah,
range,
yeah.
especially for you.
Yeah.
And so what fin setup have you got on that?
That's a single fin with 2 little side bites.
Oh, 2x1, yeah.
Yeah, so fun. And then I have like 6, 9, 20. Got a few mid lengths.
Oh,
Trying
really?
to go lower. Trying to go smaller.
Don't stress too much on that one because you don't want to wreck your beautiful flowing style, which will probably be the insert now of a wave. That we'll put in. Have you got some shortboard waves up on the Instagram, or is it only the longboards?
I have heaps of mid-length videos.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, we're learning how to
Yeah.
insert them. And what are you riding, Taj?
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been riding lately. It's just been, northerlies and 2-foot. I've just been riding a twin fin, little super stock 20.
I can ride anything.
5.9.
Yeah, I saw some nice footage of you, and
2 fuzzies in my bitch purse. She a hood witch, working with the work. Lavish, wasn't so lavish. Trap house on the beach, no.
so when you were in Shargout just this last season, and we were having a bit of a chat, and you're going, I've got to go to the Maldives. I've gone because in Bali they call themselves the Me Carry boys, the kids that carried our boards down to Uluwatu for a
Me
goal.
Carry.
Yeah, Me Carry, and I said, so you're the Me Carry. That was his gig, the Me Carry boy for Josie
Oh yeah.
to the Maldives. But that was a pretty good gig. So tell us a bit about that. What was that about?
I just a couple times a year I just go there, and one of our mates, he does basically just to go do a fun trip and surf waves that aren't
But it's
so
a sponsored,
busy.
Yeah.
sponsored
So
shoot.
basically you're going there and making people enjoy surfing, and then our friend Wispy, he does coaching with them, and
It's
just
good.
surfing waves that aren't crowded, last year we were there and just surfing alone.
That's what you
I feel
want,
it's a
isn't it?
little bit hard these
And
days to surf
and you
alone.
just went to Fiji too.
Just went to Fiji.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So beautiful. I would go back to Fiji in a heartbeat. So beautiful. We didn't get really many waves. We were just there on a shoot. But yeah, unfortunately the wind wasn't that good when we were going to try surf swimming pools, and then we did surf a few other waves.
Yeah, and that was another sponsored shoot.
Yeah, that was for Billabong.
And you didn't get to be the Me Carry boy on that one.
No,
Or
unfortunately.
you have to stay
no.
home here in Byron.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty average places that you hang out, aren't they?
Very.
So beautiful.
lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think we take it for granted. Well, we've got to be careful not to take it for granted, don't we?
Totally.
And it's a reason why that places like Shargout and Uluwatu and Byron Bay and that get crowded is because
Everyone wants to be there.
everybody wants to have a piece of it,
Yeah.
So we have to sort of try and learn to slip off and
We always talk about it. I think
Yeah.
with our mates who all have grown up here as well,
yeah,
we always talk about how it's like a double-edged sword. We're so grateful to come from here and
it
have grown up
really is,
here.
isn't it?
But how do we live in our own hometown when it's
Yep.
so expensive and
So
so
expensive.
busy?
Yeah.
So it's so easy to love, but also so easy to just
Well, it gets
get down on.
overloved, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then Shargout now. My
Shargout's
goodness.
crazy.
Oh, the Gentle Luna.
So much change, especially in
So much change.
4 years.
Yeah, even in a few years, and,
Yeah.
and up near where we were surfing, and it's changed too, like 5 vans with 10 boards on the roof, and
Yeah. That
know,
was
to
a
learn.
shocker for us actually, because when we were surfing there a couple of years ago, we'd just surf alone, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden you go there a year or two later and it's
I know.
Blown out.
insane.
You just got to go with it, I guess, and
Yeah.
then look elsewhere. I've got the car over there now, so I'm going over soon, and trying to do 3 months
Yeah.
on, 3 months off, and
Nice.
and we're going to go have a look around,
Yeah, good idea.
north or south.
Cool.
Not
Never
saying.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe go east or west.
Yeah. Well, it's for everybody else that they see. That's what's happened with all these famous surf spots. They just get given it, so they go, "Oh, that's where I'm going," without going and finding out for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all right for us to.
I think
to
it's like the
say.
new age technology too, where
Oh yeah.
you have so many people who visit, and I don't know, I just think maybe it's because some people don't get it, and surfing is so new to some, but I feel like if you grow up surfing, you want to keep places sacred, whereas now it's so new
So-
age technology, everyone will say the exact location, publish the exact location of where it is, and it's
Can't wait to get to their phone so they can tell their friends and
Yeah.
the other
think it's important
10,000
to, like,
people looking.
it's fine to post your surfing or whatever, but I don't think you need to.
You don't have to name
post
it.
exactly where it is. Or
I mean, so that's pretty much your job, you know. Like you could call yourself a pro surfer, you know, getting sent to those places and you know, with Bob and stuff like that, and it may explode. So it's necessary for you to have footage of you surfing and stuff like that to keep your profile up. And like even with me as an old board builder, you know, that's sort of part of the reason of doing these things that have morphed into a much more than I just wanted to originally do a shaping video, you know, to pass that on. But if I didn't do it, I'm just gone over the back fence, forgotten about, you know. So, you know, we have to still, you know,
you have to.
It's a fine line, isn't it?
It's a fine line. You know, I think like what we're talking about is when you're doing filming.
Well, I just got back from...
Because we do filming over there in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Like it's
And here
to
and
educate
everywhere.
people on everywhere and anywhere. Like you yourself to know that fine line between blowing out a surf spot and keeping it sacred. And you gotta kind of know the guidelines.
Even if it's for selfish reasons, so that next time you go, you can catch a wave. You know?
Yeah, totally.
Like, apart from just having a moral compass on they're the rules, you know, you don't, no need to say it, you know. Yeah. But anyway.
And landmarks also.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Drones are really bad. Because that just films the entire
and I mean, some people get over paranoid about it, but I can understand that. And you know, it's become so popular, surfing. I've said, and I did an interview with Dick Hoole, and then he brought your name up, but because I mentioned the Filipino lady longboarders that I was that impressed by. I watched some of them; they were world class, you know, and some of the guys are too. The good thing about the longboards, though, isn't it? You don't need much of a wave.
No.
You know. And the people are generally more polite, you know, not so aggro and stuff like that. And I know what I was going to say. And so this can all stay in. I don't mind, you know, because I'm just winging it. But what I was going to say was, over in the Philippines is like beach blanket bingo. That's what, and you guys might not know what that means, but that's what happened in the 60s. Like surfing became so popular with Gidget in California and then Australia and stuff like that, that people were bolting boards on the roof to be seen as surfers and stuff like that. And I mean, it wasn't necessarily called that, beach blanket bingo, but that was a description, or maybe a movie made like that, like Gidget, you know, and that sort of stuff. And that's what I've just seen in the Philippines, you know, that it's become that popular.
It's so popular, and it's also still very, it's quite like a new sport. Well, that's why it reminded me of the 60s here, you know, where it was new and the new fad, and, you know, and I don't think they're going to be bolting boards on the roof in the Philippines. They wouldn't be doing it on their motorbikes, but over here it was happening, you know, and just to be seen as a surfer, you know, as a surfy.
Bleached hair,
all of that, you know, it was a new fad, and it really reminded me of what's going on in the Philippines now.
Yeah, definitely.
But just the enthusiasm of it, I guess. And then
they're loving it.
Oh, they're loving it, and then so poor old Siargao's gone. They've gone, right, Siargao's #1 spot, so they just go in there, renting a board. And what I noticed too, though, you know, kids, young surfers there, that no job prospects whatsoever, are now earning more than the rest of their family is getting, what, 600 pesos an hour, you know, which what's about 12, 15 bucks. Highest paying job
on the island.
And all they need is a mallet, and they're a surf instructor.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's probably such a craze over there because, like, are you gonna you know, I mean, construction workers make 400 pesos a day, whereas surf instructors make
not even $10.
600 pesos an hour.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like,
Oh no, and get treated like rock stars.
Yeah.
And they be, you know what they're. My friend who lives up near our spot, the Kuta Cowboys, because that's what they used to call the young surfers down at Kuta. They'd get all the chicks on the back. They'd have the chicks, you know, because they were the chicks. Everybody wants something opposite to them, you know. Yeah, and so now they're the new Kuta Cowboys as well.
Yeah, I think island boys anywhere in the world attract.
Yep.
Foreigners.
Yeah, everybody wants the opposite to them as well.
They want a piece of the cowboys.
Oh, it's the opposite way around, isn't it? It's changed around. But why wouldn't they do that? They get treated like rock stars, pick their own hours, and get paid. Yeah, 10 times what the others going. You know.
Yeah. Shargal's economy is so surf based now. You know, the boats make their money from taking surfers out. The guys and girls making their money from surf instructing. You know, it's so ocean based.
Yep. And you know, I was going to say too, there's a real good friend of mine named Steve Jones. He was about my age, and he won a couple of state titles in the 70s, I think juniors, and he was a top 16er as well. That was what the level top 16 pros that, you know, the what's WSL now. But anyway, he was a top 16er, you know, like a top flighter. Every 96 blokes had to battle through the trials to get into the A16 to go against the top 16, which it was like the Roman gladiator, you know, blood, you know, no chance. Very few anybody did any good against the top 16. And I mean, I think Simon Anderson said to me once, all I got to do is go to every contest and I'm going to re-qualify. Didn't even have to win a heat. But that's how hard it was to break in. But anyway, that's the point. You know that the new immigration office down at GL, General Luna now. Yeah. Okay, well, there's a little Thai restaurant. Yeah, there is. That's why I've been going down there to renew my visa. And but there's a little Thai restaurant nearby, and it's quite good.
Oh yeah, Typhoon.
Yeah. And so upstairs, and I'll slot the picture in. I took a picture of the picture. He went there, Steve Jones, and I forget his mate's name. We'll write it in later. But they went there together in 1980.
Yeah, wow.
80, you know, that's long before you guys were even born. But look, you know, I didn't go there till 2002. I was in the Philippines. But, you know, I mean, with Mike Boyum, the famously went there and everything like that. They were way later because he had G-Land then. So, 1980, went there. They went there at the wrong time of year. But, and then we were saying before I was Kevin Davidson, they were up at Majestics, and then they realised it was probably more consistent and went down and started the Cloud 9 resort there, and that's where I stayed in 2002. But anyway, it's unrecognisable now for me, because I drove past them. I stayed there a few times in 18 and 19, I think, before the COVID. And then
completely different.
Well, it's even different completely now to then. You know?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to recognise it. But that's, I guess, just, you can't knock it, you know. It's the same as the people who have done good here. Because...
so I think everyone is looking
Yeah.
for a healthy lifestyle, and that just tends to be by the sea.
Yeah, well, they just happen to get onto what we've been doing forever, and so you can't begrudge them. You know, you've just got to.
You go, I get it. I've been doing it also.
Yeah, you can't. It's just what's the word? Hypocritical, isn't it? If we, you know, you get pissed off at them for coming to do what we love doing, and so. But it doesn't mean we have to like it. But anyway.
Don't let the old man in.
Well, there's a good reason why the old man, because I am an old man.
Sometimes I actually feel like I I get really like anxious about it. Like I just need to breathe and like not freak out too much. Sometimes,
well, you guys
sometimes
would get your waves here though, wouldn't you? Because I don't even go to Snapper and that anymore.
get the
I
waves
can't.
and you can get a park.
Yeah, and get a park, and now you've got to pay for parking here too. But Snapper a few years ago when it was only 600 guys out, I could get a few waves.
Yeah.
Now there's 1,000. No.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So, but anyway, I just we'll go down the coast a bit and keep me pop-ups going so that I can hopefully get some good waves over there, you know.
Yeah.
But so what's your plans for this year, you guys?
We might have a couple of trips coming up throughout the year.
Yeah.
We want to get married pretty soon, so I want to get into some work and save up some money for that.
Fantastic.
But yeah, just around home.
Unreal.
It's true.
And go back over to the Philippines in around September.
Unreal. Yeah, and you got a little block of land over there.
Yeah,
we got a little. Josie's got her place, and then we
just built another place.
Unreal. That's great because I've been looking, but there's difficulties. But that wave near where you got your land, there's a right-hander that's quite slabby, and then a fuller wave out in the middle. Yeah. Well, that's where I didn't even get to my feet. That's where I headbutted the reef. Yeah. And
I seen you that day. I just drove past you. I waved to you. You had a full scab. Is that?
I did. It's the first time, like in 63 years I've been surfing, and first time I've ever headbutted the reef, and I was lucky it was second rollover. But I'm lucky I don't get busted for smuggling coral because I've still been getting bits of coral out of it. Nearly 4 months later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's lucky without infection.
Yeah, there's no infection. It's just that bits of coral just come out, like.
Do you find that you don't get infections over there?
No, I don't.
That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like we
actually, I mean, you got to be careful. The lower leg, I did a couple of years earlier. Yeah, by a scratch on the motorbike. But yeah, no more motorbikes.
Yeah.
You have a little Suzuki.
Yeah, the little mini cab, and we're going to go for the big road trip this coming soon. Yeah. And so Ben McTavish shapes shoreboards.
Yep, he shapes pretty much all my boards actually.
Yeah, and Bob shapes yours.
Bob he's done a few of the hand shaped by Bob, but usually it's like Ben.
Oh, Ben's doing yours too?
Yeah,
Ben's
been doing some of the logs,
and the logs as well?
Yeah, he's doing a lot actually.
Bob's nearly 80. And
yeah.
It's hard job.
I have I've got a few hand-shaped boards by Bob, and they're like my forever boards.
Oh yeah, hold on to them ones. For sure.
And then, but yeah, Ben's doing a lot.
Hey, you know what?
Ben's great.
Why don't you get on the camera and we'll go and have a look at his board out on the grass?
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you can do it.
Alright, well this is Taj's board that...
Right on.
But
you probably hold the chart like that.
Coming up, Taj. Look at it, and we've gone the full 80s colour.
Yeah, Rasta core.
It's on 0.5 now, so you might want to...
Do you want me to put it onto one?
Yeah, put on one.
Chairs in the way or not?
No, it's alright. Maybe I'll move them.
Pick up the camera.
Alright, I'll be documenter.
Yeah.
Are you filming?
Yeah, I'm filming.
So tell us about this one, John. What's the idea?
Well, you know what? I think with the rails and the full rails, I always like the full rails and the low even rocker. Rusty Priesendorfer, the boards that Ockie was riding back then, because I've got another board at home that I did before this, and it's the same sort of thing. Yeah. I did it at Nat Young's when I was working for him, and
I like the logos.
You like these ones, yeah?
Yeah, they're epic.
Yeah. That was classic when we started talking and you said you had one of my boards. It's in pretty good nick too.
It's in perfect condition.
It's
You should tell the story of how it goes full circle back onto Oakland Court.
Yeah,
Taj.
well, so even before I met you,
yeah.
I was going through Michael's, Josie's dad's, he was going through his garage and just having a look at some old boards that were in there, and
He had this one.
and this was at the bottom of the pile in a board bag. And I just saw the colours and I was like, oh wow, that's a radical board, and I surfed it. It was really, really fun. And then another mate really liked the look of it.
Oh, yeah.
And he decided to buy it.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you
so
sold it.
He sold it. And about a year ago, my friend who bought it ended up going overseas, and he said, hey, I've got that board here for you.
Oh.
And it was between then when he bought the board and now, in between there was when I met you.
Oh, right. So you had it and
So
then you didn't have it. Now you
yeah.
got it back.
Yeah, and now here it is in open court.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, so I thought it'd be good to bring it in. And
Yeah.
John Harris.
Full circle.
It's classic.
So came from Dad's garage, then
To a friend.
to a friend, then you guys met, and then
Yeah.
Taj
And then you
realised
got it
that
back.
Yeah.
And have you had it? Is it too small for you now, or you could still ride
No, it's great.
it? You better Do you know what?
It's 6'3", it's got heaps of foam. There's something going on here. This looks like it's been replaced. What do you think?
No,
Or is that-
No. We were putting fin box in them because
How come?
I had my wing fin. The multi fins made my wing fin, and so I have wing fins in them. And the board that I brought up here when I moved back up, I moved back down to Nora Head in end of 75, 76, something like that. And yeah, it's like straight rocker. But that, I was going to say, you can
So good.
get things from that and put into your new board because
Yeah, I love the rails.
yeah,
I love the fullness of it.
yeah, because
And
it's really
And
it's thin.
the colours.
the colours are very Taj. I was actually telling Taj that it reminds me of Mad Dog surfboards as well.
Yeah.
That era, you know?
Yeah. Well, that would have been
And the
when I
colours.
first moved up here. So I bought a factory in.
It's really light.
Yeah, it's still light. It's still good nick, isn't it?
Yeah.
But,
perfect knit.
You should take that out to show Benny. You know, like when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing your new boards, figure out bits.
Well, now I've got it back. You know,
Yeah.
got it cleaned up, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'll probably
No, it
hold
looks
on to
unreal.
it forever.
But just find the bits that you like out of it and incorporate into your new board. But those full of rails are good. You know,
yeah.
they work better than their old decks. And they've got a,
There's a lot of V in the tail.
yeah, there's
I know.
quite a lot of V. You could double concave that up, and it's like
Full circle.
yeah, that's unreal.
It goes to show that maybe our paths were meant to cross.
Yeah, well, we just met in a
Met on a small little
Or
island.
something going you.
Yeah, I know. There's met on a small little island,
Yeah.
and then here we are. Taj has
Yeah,
your
just
board
happened to have one
from
of
my
old
dad.
boards. And
Now
then-
we're in Byron Bay where we
and so
grew
your
up.
dad had it.
yeah.
Oh wow,
How cool is that?
that's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, because I thought that you just happened to have one because the young guys are liking the retro boards.
Yeah.
You know, and just picked it up from someone here.
No,
And but that's much more
It's
connected,
cool,
isn't
yeah. It's way
it?
connected.
Your dad.
And then here we are in Oakland Court with your mate's house
and-
next door to Taj's grandma's house.
Yeah, that's right. And then because Johnny's like one of my best mates, you know, that owns this place.
Yeah.
And yeah, and as I said, we lived up here in '74. So yeah, well, what do you reckon, guys?
Yeah.
That's a wrap. To
Yeah,
be able to get something like that, especially with all your footage and stuff.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, should we ask you a quick question?
Sure, why don't you?
I'll be the interviewer.
You be the
My
interview.
question is,
Yeah.
how do you, because you would have experienced surfing long before it became a big craze. And actually sometimes even my dad, I'm like, oh, you guys got it really, really good surfing with only just a couple guys out. How do you maintain the stoke without being too frustrated in a crowded lineup?
Oh, that's a really good question, because how do we keep able-bodied as well?
Yeah.
You know, like I broke 12 ribs about nearly 4 years ago now, and we have injuries and stuff like that you've got to get over. So what I do now, I'm hoping to get my good waves over there.
Yeah.
And I get precious. I've even paddled in when two people have paddled out, because I like surfing by myself. But and over here, I just go down the Tweed coast and find some shitty little wave and practice my pop-ups.
Yeah.
Just get the pop-ups, because I found that all my friends, that's what they lose, is the pop-up, being able to pop up, you know, as you get older. And so I just, the shittier surf, the better. I surf by myself and practice the pop-ups and get the pop-ups going. And my goal is 3.
Yeah.
And I usually get 6 or 8 or something like that.
That's good.
And,
so it's good to know. It's just basically like keeping that strength up.
and that's what it is. And that muscle memory of the pop-up. The pop-up's the most important.
Yeah.
And, okay, so and this was about a year and a half or so after this injury, and I started to get pissed off with it. I'm going, this is like training for a fucking grand final, you know? And that wave that we surfed, that's like Chopu, I had the best, it was my mate who lives there, he said, this is the best day of the year. There was only the 2 of us out, and what was it? I was 68 and he was 64. This was a couple of years ago.
What was his name?
Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, anyway.
He's a big fella, right?
Yeah. Anyway, he said it's the best day of the year, and he's really low-key guy, and he doesn't say anything. I got this wave, and it was like a 6-footer, and my board, I was on a 7.2 and I was vertical, you know, like that's a real wave, that wave. And he was paddling back out, and he said, oh, that would have made an unreal photo. I said, oh yeah, the drop. He said, no, he said the lip threw straight over you, and then the spit framed you. And I just went, oh wow. And then 5 minutes later, I got a more radical. I free fell and made it, and this time I saw the lip throw over, and the spit blew me out into the channel, and I went,
winning.
yeah, and I went, that was the grand final. And now when I go and surf my little 1-foot pieces of rubbish and practice my pop-ups, I don't mind it. I'm enjoying the process.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Because I think it's like one thing I always notice, and even sometimes I guess like looking at Dad or whatever, like I feel like you can see that a lot of the older guys who've surfed their whole lives with no one out can get frustrated, and I can imagine it would be frustrating, because even I do get it a little bit, but it's
you know, the thing is that, you know, the Lennox and the pass and stuff, when I was young, we'd surf in Lennox with hardly anybody out, and then the pass in the afternoon when the wind came up, and even I was 40 when I moved to Tweed from Lennox. It was still, you could surf, you know, you could get waves, but it's not so much attitude or frustration with the crowd. It's just the simple basic fact of not being able to get away.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not actually doing your surfing, you know, like
that's exactly
all those good
it.
spots. If you get 2 waves, like that's what we used to do, you know, when the Superbank came. Guy, if you get 2 waves and have no incidents, it's a good day, you know. And but now you can't even get your 2 waves. I mean, you got to.
That's what I find. I see sometimes I'll go out with my dad, and he'll sometimes finish his surf session without getting a single wave. Yeah,
and that's not fun.
No.
Yeah, and that doesn't make what you want to strap up the next day and do it again, you know. So
maybe it comes down to more education in a lineup, and I don't know, because surfing is so popular.
Look, that's why you just got to lower your expectations and go for the shittier waves too, you know, which is a bummer, because I love these, you know, Lennox is my favourite backhand wave in the world, but now also, and I've heard from some mates that the rock dance there, you know, like some of the older guys are coming undone badly, you know, because it's such a fine line of ballerinaing, you know, and so that's
slippery barnacle rock.
It's the slippery ones be more, you know, and so you're like doing a 10 rock dance to leap into the water and then to come in's even worse. But so that scares me because I'd love to ride one of those waves again. But so I go over there and try and
find joy in it.
Get my good ones over there, and
you can.
Yeah.
And but I got to stay away from the mutant ones.
Yeah.
I don't need to be doing, because after I did my head into the reef, the next surf that was out on our left, I broke my rib.
I know. I always watch Taj surfing that wave, and I get so scared because it's so hollow.
Oh, it's not where a 70-year-old bloke should be going, you know.
Hey, at least you're out there.
Yeah.
You're making
I'll
moves.
be going again, but it's just. But you know what? I've seen girl longboarders learning and that paddle out there because that got crowded this year.
Yeah, this year was crazy.
And it's just. And then I've seen them going over the falls and throwing their boards sideways.
It's a proper slab.
It's a slab, you know. And
live and you learn.
But anyway, we've got a nice spot there where we stay, and
Auntie's good, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, well, that you stay there too. Yeah, she's great.
She's great.
Oh yeah, Zia.
The teacher. Yeah.
What?
Teacher. And but we're going to have a look at some other spots. Get that little car. You know, we're going to do some travelling last 3 months I spent there, but you get lazy.
Oh, you get lazy, don't you?
Yeah, you get lazy. But also the ferries, you know, it took us two overnight ferries to get the car from Cebu to the island. So I didn't feel like doing that straight up again to go and have a look. All right, what do you reckon? Because I'll just talk forever.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, mate. That's unreal.
You want me to?
So what do you reckon, Jase?
I reckon it's awesome.
All right, we did good, didn't we? 'Cause
Yeah.
there's lots of
Should I end
common
it now?
ground. Yeah.